together?
I think just going from the log into the yoke with your back's kind of fried, then you have to like really focus on bracing. So it's just about executing and kind of like staying focused, which sucks when you're under like so much fatigue.
You are a familiar face here at the Rogue Invitational. What do you love about this event?
It's just always fun. Like, it doesn't even matter where the leaderboard standings are at the end of the weekend. Like, I always enjoy this competition. It's the one I look forward to every single year.
We enjoyed having you here. Thanks so much.
James Field, your new event leader with half the field yet to go. The 5:05.23 seconds going to be a tough mark to chase down. As we are at the halfway point, event number 2 for the women. We will take a quick break. We return, Heat 3 of William Wallace. Our coverage from Aberdeen, Scotland continues. Stay with us, everybody, here at the 2025 Rogue Invitational. You're halfway through events number 2, the second of 9 events that the CrossFit athletes will face here at the 2025 Rogue Invitational. Glad you're with us, everybody. I'm Sean Woodland alongside former affiliate cup champion Adrian Conway, and Kiki Dixon is out on the competition floor. As the athletes who will be taking part in Heat 3 of 4 make their way out onto the competition floor. Event number 2 is William Wallace, presented by Parnell. It starts with a log and it ends on the power stairs, and there's a really heavy yoke in the middle.
It's a lot of heavy object moving, and for some of these athletes, they're foreign objects. More akin to the strongman style of training, we've got the log clean and press, which is the one element that has created the most separation for all, both the men and the women so far today.
5 women in this third of 4 heats. That Velocidor will be in lane number 3. There are Canadian athletes out there. I mean, we're all from lane number 1. Work well as another athlete to keep an eye on here. Work well. Oh, and only slightly.
And I love that urgency, Sean. I mean, I love that competitor's urgency she just showed there. Again, we're getting into this settling point where a lot of times your body's telling you no. You want to feel the risk. You're feeling the burn in your arms and your legs. For this workout, it's all around your spine and your abs and your erectors. And these athletes are denying that feeling in order to compete. They're pushing and pushing and pushing. That's what you love to see.
Wells able to close the gap a little bit again on the yoke carry, and now hustling up as she moves back to the power pit for the second time. This is the tightest race we've seen so far for the women in any of the heats. Gold Kursever and Spiegel just ran away with theirs.
And that's that separator there, Manon, choosing to put that first step to work as she carries it over with the duck walk. Brooke instead sends it back on the ground. She loses a little bit of momentum and distance to Manon each round there.
The top time is 5:05.23 seconds. Manon Anganades and Brooke Wells are into the third and final round. Emma Lawson is in the middle of your screen going to the yoke to finish up her second carry.
All right, Wells beats Anganez off the ground for the first rep.
Manon Anganez is making her 4th appearance here at the Rogue Invitational. She's been 9th, 10th, and 11th.
one there. You can hear her say what. She wasn't certain of what happened there, but the judges calls it she didn't open her hip, so she has to stand it up all the way after her arms are locked out.
The good news is she's still ahead, because for her, Parnell is just keeping her hands on that lock. This will be the final rep for Wells. She locks it out. And now to the yoke for the final time. So Danny Spiegel's going to hang on to the top bar. Agonez is done onto the yoke, and Wells has been faster on this portion of the event all 3 times.
Let's see if Brooke puts down the pin though. So this pin stack, she'll set it to the ground. And right here, okay, she feels that pressure from Agonez. Agonez is going to put it right on the stairs.
Now they're even. Agonez is making up some ground here. This is going to be close. Wells gets it across the line, makes the touch. She's going to take the heat. 5:34.83 seconds. Agonez is second behind her. And Danny Spiegel, though, still your event leader at 5:05.23 seconds. Tightest race we have seen so far for the women in any of the heats.
This is where it turns into a bit of a slugfest. You got to really go to battle with that log. These women are all breathing extremely heavy, and they're struggling with some form of the ground overhead. It could be the clean, it could be the shoulder overhead. But regardless, they got to continue to stay positive and tell themselves one rep at a time, figure it out and troubleshoot whatever mechanics they're struggling with, and get the work done.
Emma Lawson in the middle of the screen in the all black has 1 rep remaining. Emily Rolfe with 3 left. All the athletes are in their 3rd and final round. Lawson, Rolfe, and Stern.
Emma looks so smooth ground overhead. You wonder if that was a confidence issue, how she chose or settled into her pacing, because all things from a mechanics perspective tells me that she could have been doing that a bit faster.
Lawson has finished on the podium here twice at the Rodeo Invitational. The other 2 times that she competed here, 2022 and 2023, and she was 3rd both times.
Put it on the stair. Great choice there. Don't have to do extra work. I send it back on the ground.
Work smart, not hard.
That's right.
Lawson's through. The time to spare. 30 seconds to go before we hit the time cap. 7:27.69 seconds. This is the final rep of the block for Rolfe. And she's going to have to hurry.
Sean, I know that she was limited this year by an upper body injury. I believe it was her elbow. You wonder if that shoulder overhead is something she hadn't been able to spend a lot of time redeveloping and building capacity and confidence back with for this year's competition season quite yet.
Rolfe and Stern are going to run into the time cap. Brooke Wells is going to take the heat. 5:34.83 seconds, and Danny Spiegel is going to hang on to the top time. 5:05.23 with 1 heat remaining here in event number 2. For the first time in 3 heats, we had a really good race between Brooke Wells and Meter Handcycle, and a no rep on the shoulder to overhead. In the final round, nearly cost Wells the win here.
That's right, it almost made things very, very interesting. And you see even the moment that she took to communicate, but like a veteran that she is, she recouped very quickly, got right back to work. She found a way to right the wrong by making the next rep count for her. But it was Agonez that started to look like she was going to close this gap completely that Wells had created. But Brooke came through in the end.
Heat win for Brooke Wells. But after 3 heats, it's Danny Spiegel and Olivia Kerstetter with your top 2 times. Wells good enough for 3rd place. Meter Handcycle and Emma Tall rounding out the top 5. Send it down to Kiki Dixon, who's with Brooke Wells.
Brooke, you won your heat. You're obviously a CrossFit athlete, but we have strongman implements here today for this particular event. How are you mimicking this in your training back home?
I mean, I've done rogue like a couple years, so I feel like I kind of know that the events are going to be like unique and different, and a lot of strongman stuff. So just kind of stuff in the gym that's like similar to this, but I don't have like a ton of equipment like this, so just kind of training what I know and hoping for the best.
You're on your retirement tour. How does that affect your mentality or the way you approach an event this year?
I know that I don't have very many events left, so I'm really just trying to have fun and make like little memories and moments throughout the weekend that I'll remember forever. I know like the leaderboard may seem important in the moment, but I never even remember what places I got like years ago, so that's not what's important to me. It's just kind of having fun with the athletes in the back and my coaches and the community and just making the most of the last few times.
Thank you so much, Brooke.
Thank you.
Brooke Wells with a heat win, third best time in the event so far with one heat remaining, and we are set for that fourth and final heat here in event number 2. The second of 9 total events that these athletes will face across the weekend. The overall standings coming in, Danielle Brandon is on top of the overall leaderboard after picking up her third career event win with 100 points. Paige Rogers was sitting in second place, but that will most likely change here after Rogers' performance here at event number 2. Ariel Lowen, Lawson, and Alex Kazan, your top 5 athletes. Laura Horvath, your 2-time champion, 7th place overall. Looking to move up and challenge Brandon for that top spot. Now, it is still early, but obviously Horvath would love to be on top of the leaderboard heading into the final event of the day. What's at stake here as we head into this final meeting?
Well, what's at stake is for these athletes that you just hit on, Sean. Danielle Brandon has an opportunity to try to bank points going into this workout, and I think that's going to be important knowing that we've got things like the tax collector coming up later today with the movement. Notoriously, she struggles within that back squat, so that's got to be her focus. And for Laura Horvath, and for those athletes that are sitting right there in that mid pack, that 7 to 10, that 7 to 15 range, don't panic. Simply take care of what you need to take care of right here and right now, and navigate these 3 strongman odd objects that are looming here for William Wallace.
Brooke Wells won the 3, and now the 5 final athletes on the floor for the fourth heat in event number 2. Ariel Lowen, get that log set up. Lane assignments, Laura Horvath will be in lane number 3. Danielle Brandon right next to her in lane number 2. Only other woman that Tia Tumi to actually win this competition. Tumi's won it 4 times, Horvath wins twice. And got herself off to a great start. Getting that momentum here in event 2. Final heat is underway. 5 reps of a 150-pound log, 68 kilos. To start us off, and Alex Kazan can definitely do some damage in this event.
Yeah, that's right. We know sometimes she can be limited by overhead mobility. This is not going to present a problem for her. She's doing a great job at even jumping it like a traditional clean and then jumping it right overhead. I love the aggressiveness that we're seeing here, Sean. You alluded to it earlier, but we haven't seen many leads change coming out of the first round. So what kind of pace can you establish right here, right now?
Well, Kazan is the first woman done with her opening setting. Clean to press on that log, right to work on the yoke. 445 pounds, 207 kilos. That was no problem for Kazan. Lowen, Raptis, Horvath, and Brandon on the yoke. Well, probably the tightest heat we've seen so far through round 1.
Yeah, just out to a blistering pace. These athletes all doing a great job at lifting into the first stair right out of the gate, which is wild. We haven't seen anyone set it down on Brandon. Sets it down on the ground there.
How much Kazan kind of got hung up on those stairs, and now Laura Horvath is right on her heels along with Ariel Lowen. Danielle Brandon gets that over the red line, and currently bringing up the rear here in heat 4. 5:05.23 seconds. That's the time to beat Danny Spiegel. Alex Kazan continues to lead here through her first of 5 reps in round 2.
Alex doing a great job at staying aggressive here. This is where we start to see some of the athletes step away from the log, take longer breaks. It's almost like she's forcing her hands to stay glued to that thing.
This is the 3rd straight year that Gazan has competed in the Rogue Invitational. As you can see the weights of the implements on the bottom left-hand part of your screen. She's been inside the top 5 both times, 5th in 2023, 4th in 2024. And a woman who should be contending for a spot on the podium by the end of the weekend, onto the yoke for the 2nd time and starting to open up a lead on the rest of the field here.
Yeah, no hesitation, no slowing whatsoever. As we even see Laura, we even see Ariel all taking steps away back from their log. And that middle round right there is where Alex had the ability to, what we categorize as break the chain and pull away from this heat, and she's doing just that.
Well, this is the part of the event that kind of slowed her down in the first round. Laura Horvath was able to catch her on this part. Now Horvath was just getting into the yoke along with Raptis and Brandon. Ariel Lowen has moved into 2nd place. She's in the white top, heading back to the power stairs.
Well, I'll tell you, Sean, this is one of those apparatus that they don't necessarily have a ton of access to in the back, so I'm sure they mimic it with things that they can do to get prepared, but you almost have to feel it out from a skill perspective. It looks like she had figured it out on that round.
Gazan into the 3rd and final round. If she can pull off the win here, depending how everything else shakes out, there's a chance that Alex Gazan could be your overall leader, but she's got to pick up the win here. Laura Horvath is now trying to stay ahead of Danielle Brandon and Alexis Raptis for 3rd place in this heat. Gazan through 2 of her final 5 reps. Lowen is just getting started on her final set.
Ariel really put herself in a tough situation there with that last clean and press. She's got to figure something out by dropping onto that bar a little bit better here in this next rep.
Final rep here for Gazan in round 3, and she has a really good shot at chasing down Danny Spiegel. Got a minute to go here before Spiegel's time hits. Top 4 times in this event, bottom left-hand part of your screen. 2 seconds is separating Spiegel from Kerstetter. And there's a pretty big gap between Kerstetter and Wells for 3rd, but Alex Gazan is looking to pick up the event win. And again, depending on how everything else shakes out, can find herself on top of the overall standings. Alex Gazan, welcome back to competition. An event win. 4:39.77 seconds, the only woman to go sub-5. Wow. Danielle Brandon, meanwhile, is in 2nd place. Now, this is big for her because 3rd place in this event is still up for grabs.
And that's what we talked about.
Keep her on top of the leaderboard.
That's right. We talked about an opportunity for her to bank points. It's going to be huge as the events continue to roll out this weekend.
Danielle Brandon is in, and that should be a 3rd place finish in the event. Oh, Horvath right behind her. She got hung up. She makes the touch. 5:15 for Horvath. That'll be a top 5 finish. Raptis is in, and here comes Ariel Lowen. So Danielle Brandon, huge performance from her as Lowen makes the touch. But Alex Gazan could move into the top 3. Danielle Brandon with that 3rd place finish unofficially. Or maybe 4th place. It's going to be tight between her and Brandon. Or pardon me, her and Gazan. Not much is going to be separating those two. Well, Alex Gazan in a tightly packed heat, led from wire to wire.
And don't worry, folks, that paint face that she wore right there, she earned it, and it paid off. She was smooth and she was fast on that log clean and press. The yoke was not any fractional amount of work for her. There was no hesitation and a tremendous amount of speed. We were worried about the power stairs. Would it be a problem for her? But she figured them out into round 2 and got faster and faster, round by round, on these power stairs, all the way through. An event 2 victory. William Wallace. Did we rename it Alex Gazan?
4:39.97 29.77 seconds. Third career event win at the Rogue Invitational for Kazan. Daniel Brandon is going to finish fourth. The two of them, Brandon and Kazan, heading into event 3, might only be separated by 5 points in the overall standings. Danny Spiegel and Chris Center, they're going to move up the standings, and Laura Horvath finishes in 5th place. Let's set it down. Kiki Dixon, who is with your event winner, Alex Kazan.
Alex, congratulations. Last time I saw you, you were on crutches. What does an event win do for a boost in your training confidence?
Oh, it's so fun. I mean, we train to win, so it feels good. Yeah.
We talked earlier about your perspective for this particular event, that you're just grateful to be here. Are you still maintaining that, or do you find yourself wanting to get a little bit more competitive in there?
I think you do both. And I was explaining that I'm still very nervous. We're competitors, we want to do well. But instead of just feeling nervous and like that ache feeling, I'm just excited. And now I know it can be taken away in the blink of an eye. So when I get to step on the floor, it's a privilege.
We're so very grateful that you're here with us as well, Alex. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Alex Kazan, third career event win and her first competition since a car accident in June. And is pushing for the top spot in the overall standings as we head into the third and final event of the day. Daniel Brandon with another solid performance and will most likely still be the leader heading into the third and final event, but Alex Kazan is right on her heels. Crossing competition done for now. One final event remains for them here on Friday. We're going to take a quick break when we return. The strong women and strong men back out on the floor here. Stay with us, everybody.